Good morning, Mary and Samuel. Thank you for meeting with me today to discuss the organisational security requirements for alphadelta.com. I really do appreciate your time to meet to discuss these organisational and user network requirements. Could you give me some background on your company?
Good morning, Jeremy. Yes, Alpha Delta has about 50 employees. The company has a finance, sales, purchasing and distribution, HR, marketing and IT section. Currently, each section has its own manager. I trust the managers because they have been with the company for many years and are paid good bonuses each year. I want the managers to have control over their sections. However, the company has a high turnover of other workers, especially in sales departments. Therefore, the company policies and announcements should have been available to all departments.
Okay. How would you like the employees to have access to the information?
Jeremy, I do not want people to be able to access information that they don't need for their work. There should be a tight control over finances. Only the finance manager should be able to change suppliers and customer details and invoice details. But the other staff members in this section should be able to check all these details to follow up late payments.
Okay, so it sounds like there's a number of security issues there that need to be addressed. Which security issues would you like to improve?
The company has often seemed to be having issues with data leakage, and I want to improve security. The IT manager reported a serious hacking incident that could potentially have been solved with some newer computers.
Interesting. Was that reported to anyone?
Um, Respond appropriately with both verbal and non-verbal responses to mirror. That's gone wrong.
It's all right, keep going.
Yes, things were reported and checked onto, as far as I know.
Okay, we might throw over to Samuel now, and I'll get some information on him about from that. So far, Samuel, Mary's indicated that there's been a number of security issues that you have raised. There's a number of access related sort of issues relating around the finance department into invoices and so forth, as well as some company policies that need to be updated. Are you able to advise how the current folder system is set up?
Most certainly, Jeremy. Each department has shared folders, and the employees in each section should be able to save files in these folders. However, only the manager of each section should be able to change or delete these files. Managers of other sections should be able to read files in other section folders apart from the finance folder. There is also a public folder in which all employees can save files to show that different groups can collaborate. Managers also have the ability to delete or modify these files.
Keep going.
As each employee joins the company, they are added to the list of users and mapped to their section's folder. If they have any other responsibilities, they are also mapped to other sections.
Okay, that's good to know. It gives me a good overview of what's happening within the company. What is currently being done from your end to improve security?
I have upgraded additional software to all computers to increase security, but I would like some suggestions on what to use. I prefer upgrading to computers to make them as fast as possible within budget.
What are the main issues you're experiencing?
I am always busy resetting passwords, especially for the salespeople. Apart from the hacking incident, the staff don't seem to adhere to protocols or procedures.
Are you able to elaborate on the security incidents?
In one incident, some files were accidentally deleted. In another incident, an employee accessed all salaries of all employees, and subsequently a number of staff demanded higher salaries. An employee set up an account for a supplier and paid invoices to a fake organisation which belonged to a cousin's company. While all employees had a private username and password, certain employees often knew their colleagues' passwords as they have them written down, post-it notes on their monitors. Staff members have accidentally or deliberately shoulder surfed when their colleagues were being logged on while they were talking to them. A number of employees want to be able to log on from home using a VPN, but the CEO has decided that only managers will be permitted to do this. Samuel indicated that he is unsure on how to manage the situation and would appreciate guidance on the security incident.
Okay, that's a lot to take on board there, especially with the passwords and shoulder surfing, let alone paying a fake organisation.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got some notes prepared before the meeting, and these are some recommendations I have sort of preempted, and I thought we could work through together. Now, some of these will take into account the actual configuration of the system itself, and for that we'll need to go through and address that in further detail down the track. It'll involve implementing some new equipment, some new hardware, hopefully within a budget. This is still very early on in the piece, so obviously this is our first meeting together, so we can work out what we've got. So working back through what you've said there before, we can set up for the file deletion to prevent that from happening again. We can ensure that there's file duplication and backups are stored offsite. And with those backups, we can ensure that they're set to be protected and encrypted. So if they are saved offsite, no one's going to be able to access the information off that, and they'll remain secure. For the access control and authentication, I note that you said the CEO would like VPN for managers only. We can implement that through a remote access protocol, and have a users group solely for the managers to use, and they will only be able to access from offsite. No other employee will have permissions. They'll get locked out and locked out of the system. There's a number of other things that we can implement around the access control. Strong, secure passwords, for example. Implement a password policy that dictates that no passwords should be stored externally, either on written notes or provided to another person while in the office. Ensuring that we've got a clean desk policy. These policies will ensure that there's no passwords left lying around. That users are responsible for all of their sort of personal information. I think that we also need to have a good security awareness program, ensuring that all staff are briefed in what has to happen across the company, and make sure that the users are held accountable for it. For the organisational requirement and the data protection, I think we should look at implementing a security monitoring system to ensure that we can see who's accessing what information and when. That'll be through a third-party program. I think we also need to have a incident response in a way to deal with these security hacking incidents. And this will help close up some of the gaps that we've got, such as the data leakage and hardware sort of issues that are related to that. That also sort of then pushes into the assets side of things, the remote access and the security awareness. Hopefully I've been able to give you enough of an indication of where we're going to sort of move forward into what we need to do.
I have a question.
Yep.
I know it's on the spot and you can only give me rough guidance on this, but what time frame will we be looking at to implement?
Once we have some more details on the actual system, I should be able to come back to you with a time frame. I would expect that we would be able to implement this within 3 months. So a lot of this is sort of already common nature, common play throughout a lot of companies already. So it's not going to be like we're inventing it from square one. We're going to be able to roll it out pretty easy. Do you have any questions, Mary?
Not at the moment, no. Things
No.
seem to be, working quite well for this side of things that we're
Yeah.
sorting out.
For the password side of thing, I think that's going to be one things that we'll need to look at, ensuring that we have a strong password policy.
That's probably the best thing to be looking at.
Yeah, and that'll help prevent a lot of breaches, I think. Okay, if anyone's got any further questions.
No, thank you, Jeremy.
All right.
Thank you for your time.
I'll prepare the report and I'll come back to you with some more information shortly.
Thank you.
Thank you.